still had that one more test to give him.
He's 99% sure, but he's still got one more test.
Just an extra reassurance.
Just a reassurance. Things seem to be going well. So why not now? As we'll see next time, there's still one more test. Warren Wiersbe said, the brothers had not yet dealt with their sins. They had acknowledged that they deserved punishment for what they did. And they felt like basically what goes around comes around. And by the way, Sandy, I looked that up. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's in Galatians. There was that. They acknowledged that they deserved punishment for what they did, but they have not yet asked for forgiveness for what they did from Joseph or their father. Now, obviously, they don't know it's possible to ask Joseph yet. But in our next lesson, we'll see how they felt about their father. So, any comments or questions before I get into what I've got for the application?
I have a question on the seating.
Yeah.
I can't see them having name tents.
They don't. He just seats them.
So he said, you sit here, here.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, how did that seating?
They had calligraphy name plate.
Yeah.
Now he sat them down, and so they're like, how did he know that? Yeah.
It seems like they would have at some point connected the dots.
But in their minds, Joseph is dead.
Yeah.
Maybe if they believed in reincarnation, this is Joseph come back or something. But I'm anxious to read now and see if it does mention that putting things together. But there's so many of these little things that you wonder.
Well, he asked about his father.
Yeah.
That's weird.
The God of your father, how would they even know that? Because they hadn't even mentioned God to him at all.
Right. In the order of birth.
Yeah.
I just would think, and they didn't actually know he was dead.
No.
They thought he was dead, but they didn't actually.
They didn't know. They didn't know what happened to him once he went outside.
And I just can't imagine all those years where they would go to bed at night and wonder what happened.
And they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had that guilty conscience.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like getting the brother back was that big of a thing. It's like, here's your brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. It does say then he brought Simeon out to him. It does at least call him by name. So yeah. Oh well, Simeon, he's back.
It wasn't a big deal. I mean, it wasn't a small deal to send him.
Yeah. Right.
We was like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Where have you all been?
Where have you been? Do you know how long I've been in that place? Right.
But don't you think he was making sure Simeon was taken care of?
Oh, I'm sure he did. He got plenty of food. I'm sure Joseph did. That's another one of those things, that we're not told, but you know that was going on in the background.
That's his work.
That's his brother. I'm sure he did. Even if he did try to kill him. All right. Well, in your application, speaking of their father, as I worked on this lesson and then another lesson later, it really, Jacob, as an old man, just really touched me. And I said, the main focus of this chapter is the meal with Joseph. But as I was studying it, I thought about how Jacob / Israel was diminishing in authority. And the brothers and ultimately Joseph are gaining authority. As an application for this lesson, think about how Jacob was used to be in the head and getting his own way. How hard is it to have to give in? Especially for those of us who are older. How does it feel to have to let someone else call the shots?
I think as people are no longer able to care for themselves and to live on their own, that's probably something that's hard for them to deal with, especially if they have to leave their home.
Yeah.
And go live with a family member or,
Independence.
Yeah.
and the independence, and they've always been able to make their own decisions, and now
Mhm.
there's somebody else kind of, there might be a co-pilot now and
Yeah.
not a pilot.
Yeah, making
Because it's not
decisions
safe
for them, right?
Or they don't know how to make the best decisions.
Yeah.
Well, I can just say that having dealt with a lot of older relatives as they progressed in years, I've got a list of things that I never want to do.
Yeah, yeah. From the older person's viewpoint.
Well, from my experience,
Yeah, exactly.
having dealt with them, I
When
never
you
want to put that on my children.
Yeah.
You know, I never want to guilt trip them and make them feel like they're doing the wrong thing if they're not putting me first when they've got jobs and, you know, things, other
Yeah.
obligations.
exactly.
My parents weren't bad about that, but Betty's sister was like, well, you're just throwing me away. You're just throwing me away.
Yeah.
And I saw the damage and the guilt and the pain that inflicted on her children. And just the manipulation. It's like she couldn't get past the fact that she was not in control anymore, because she had always been the matriarch of the whole family. And I saw how she responded to not being the matriarch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the way Jacob is. He's been the one calling all the shots all the time, and now he's not.
Right.
So think about how he was feeling. And you know, I've shared with you before about I cared for my parents and for Joe's parents. And I actually, as I was doing that, I consciously tried to take into account their feelings. I mean, I thought I was trying to do that, even though I was the one that was having to make a lot of the decisions. I thought I understood how they felt. But as the Wuthers original commercial says, now I'm the grandma. and I see things in a whole different light. Our parents or whoever it was we're caring for were used to making all the decisions. And then they weren't. So, as I just said, I think is that how Jacob was beginning to feel. We got, some of you have done this, some of you we got several in the morning group that are in the middle of this right now. And if you've done that, or you need to care for your parents or someone older than yourself, try to put yourself in their place and see how you'd like somebody making all your decisions for you. You know, I don't think my kids try to tell me stuff, but I don't like it. And so we think about Jacob as he was going through that, and now they are gaining in authority, particularly Judah will be, and he's diminishing in the authority. So it just really struck me what Jacob was going through. I just really felt for him, and wanted us to think about that as an application. A lot of this other part is I really couldn't come up with an application for us, because we may have not had to deal with things like that. But I think we've either dealt with how Jacob is feeling, or we will. We either have or we will at some point. And what I wanted to close with on that is, let us all pray for all of us, no matter what stage of life that we're in. So, any other thing you want to add? Any other comments or questions on either of the application or on the chapter?
Well, on the application part of it, I know, I have two sons, and one of them already is very bossy, was what I could say, and feels as though they know much better, and
Yeah.
make sure they tell me.
Yeah, we've been given some advice on a few things too,
Yeah.
and I just say, okay.
Well, yeah, until they insist.
Yeah.
And then that would be different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alan has already decided that he's concerned about me driving back and forth to Memphis.
I would be concerned
Yeah.
about it. I'm concerned about you driving back and forth to Memphis, and we're not even related.
I said, thank you for your concern.
All right, call me when you get there.
I'll have to call all these people
Yeah.
now. I may have to call.
And let everybody know when you get
Yeah,
there.
it's like I feel like sending a group text.
Don't do that, because then everybody replies, you get all the replies. So.
That's true.
Then they need to get that Live 360 put on their phone and yours. They
Yeah.
can track you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want them tracking me
No.
either.
No.
That doesn't work either.
You're going where?
Well, my youngest son is now living in Nashville, or is living in Nashville. He's been living there for a while. So now
It's a little closer.
I can go to Nashville, spend the night, and then go to Memphis.
There you go. That'll work.
So that makes him a little happier. But it's like, seriously, you're concerned about that?
Nanette, does yours get on to you for driving long distances?
No, they have Live 360 on their phone and mine so they can track.
They know where you are. That's why you said that. Okay. they found a solution. Yeah. All right. Anything else? All right. Next time we will carry on with. I really wish I'd combined these, but we'll carry on with after the meal and they get ready to leave, and then there's the next test. So let's pray. Father, we know, Lord, that as we